Everyone knows that outside-in tracking is just better for VR gaming. It's faster, more accurate, and it's more reliable. Well, here's the thing. Valve isn't everyone, and the new Steam Frame took my expectations of a lousy, flaky experience in a standalone VR headset with camera-based positional tracking and blew them away. They also blew away my expectations for their new Steam Machine and Steam Controller, but that's a separate video. We'll have that link down below. In 2 words or less, this thing is impossibly good. And, maybe more importantly, impossibly...
Check guys, I'm gonna be a gatekeeper and say, these days, controllers are like, I don't even know how to say, like prestigious. If it's not perfect, I don't want it. If the Steam controller isn't like the bomb as soon as you put your hands on it, I would never use it.
Versatile. They managed to make it lighter, more comfortable, and higher fidelity than the OG Index for PC VR gaming. They managed to bolt an ARM-based computer to it that runs mobile VR games and applications. You can even just sideload an Android APK.
Well, both Xbox and PS are great, but PS is better.
Freaking SteamOS with a new element to their Proton compatibility layer called FEX that allows you to play desktop VR games. I'm talking x86 Windows VR games on your ARM Linux VR headset. I would mic drop this, but I think I'd get in trouble. The last part I wouldn't believe if I didn't experience it for myself, but they did all of this with latency that is indistinguishable from the best VR experiences that I've had. But is it indistinguishable from the best segue I've ever had? To our sponsor, Jawa.
Chat. Latency with VR is like one of the biggest barriers because it gives you motion sickness, and I don't know if we're talking about the same sort of latency, but...
Frame is a fundamental shift for Valve. Rather than being an accessory for your gaming PC, it's meant to be a standalone device that can also be enjoyed alongside your PC using wireless streaming for VR, which sounds horrible, but somehow it's not. Let's take a closer look at the hardware. Then we can talk about how they did it. The headset that I'm holding is actually made up of multiple components. The core module contains the actual computer and weighs under 190 grams.
Yo.
Then next...
Don't make fun of him wearing braces. Bro, good teeth are hard to maintain and to get, okay? And Ethan wants to get braces when he's older. Best way we can find it. Brother, like, everybody's got this, like, fucking veneers, porcelain bullshit. What about... He wants to take care of his teeth. Yo, that's all power to him. I think that's very brave, and I applaud him for that. Come on, bro. Be nice.
Is an audio module that can be detached with 3 clips under the foam gasket. Then there's the head strap and a battery pack that is cleverly positioned at the back to help counterbalance the device, improving comfort, and also to make it a little bit easier to cable manage if you wanted to have an external battery pack. The optics are, simply put, flipping incredible. Like other leading headsets, they're using pancake lenses, but unlike some other headsets that use pancake lenses, there was very little in the way of internal reflections visible in the demo applications that I use today. It is possible that with brighter light sources, it could show up a bit more, but that's going to be something that I'll have to save for the full review. What I can tell you is that under each lens is a 2160 by 2160 LCD display that's capable of anywhere from 72 Hertz, presumably for power saving, up to 120 Hertz.
Oh my God, is she okay?
Yeah, she's okay. She's doing fine. She's a bit wobbly, but...
You got better? No, just a little bit like this. Oh. Oh, okay. Thank you. That's very cute. Thanks for showing me. Kitty is sick a little bit. She had like a thyroid thing, and then they went to the doctor to get it fixed through like some therapy, like I don't know, some radiation shit, and then it didn't like do that good. She had like a seizure or something like that, so she had to go back, and then now she's back. So.
With a 144 Hertz experimental mode, just like we had on the Valve Index. As for why Valve decided to use LCD rather than OLED, it basically came down to the light losses due to the pancake lenses. Ooh, since I'm pointing at them, on the inside of each lens, maybe you could even see them if you went cross-eyed enough, is an eye tracker that's obviously going to be great for social VR experiences, but perhaps more importantly, enable...
I trust Steam when it comes into VR. Like, with the Index, they really tried hard, and the reality is that even though you might be, as a viewer, thinking that like some of this looks kind of cheap or whatever, right? There's no other way to do it, to do VR, because it has to be lightweight, it has to breathe. And the reality is that it's gonna look like this. That's just how it is. Otherwise, it's shit. You cannot make a luxurious VR headset. You just can't do it. It has to just work and it has to breathe, man.
Apple's Valve to do what they call foveated streaming, which I'm gonna have to explain later because it gets a little in the weeds. First, let's take a look at the controllers. Valve fully acknowledges that these are very similar to other designs in the market, but they wanted something that was both great for VR and also great for your non-VR applications if you just want to use your headset as a giant virtual display. And they still managed to add some Valve touches to them, putting capacitive sensing on all input surfaces and on the grips, so you can still do 5-finger tracking just like the Knuckles controllers from the Valve Index. They have 2-stage actuating triggers, 2-stage actuating grips, which unlocks a ton of control customization. They use the same magnetic thumbstick as the new Steam controller for better reliability and a very small dead zone. And they each have their own independent gyros that can be rebound for aiming or whatever you want. I can't tell if they were being suggestive there, given the popularity of certain VR applications, but I can't say for sure that they weren't. Both controllers have an integrated IMU to track positional data and 18 infrared LEDs that can be tracked by the 4 high field of view cameras that are integrated into the frame's core module. These were strategically positioned so that even if you were, say for example, drawing an arrow from a quiver, it should be able to maintain tracking. Now, I didn't get a chance to try that, nor did I get to fire up Beat Saber, my favorite application for evaluating controller tracking under extreme conditions. But from just shaking them around in the menu, they seem to track extremely well. Valve is claiming about 40 hours of battery life off of a single AA, and this battery compartment is a perfect transition into the customizability that's on display with this headset. They're going to have an optional accessory kit that includes knuckle straps for the controller, as well as a second head strap with a top Velcro piece if you like a bit of additional support. I personally liked it better, but I also didn't feel like it was necessary like it is on the much heavier Apple Vision Pro. There's a lot more to customize on the frame itself, too. It includes a spacer gasket for folks with long eyes.
Chad, the reality is, I'll say it again. You need this to be exactly like that. It's gonna look wonky, but I mean, who cares? Because what you don't want is you want to have this fucking cranial damage, fucking, bro. You wear this shit for too long. If it's not properly strapped and you feel like your brain is like fucking damaged from the inside, it's so awful.
If you like necessary, like it is on the much heavier Apple Vision Pro. There's a lot more to customize on the frame itself, too. It includes a spacer gasket for folks with long eyelashes and
your muscles are like
compatibility with glasses. But Valve fully acknowledges that not everyone will want to use that because it does take away a little bit from their claimed about 110-degree field of view. So they are working on prescription lenses for the headset itself. We even saw a box of them, but there's no specific timeline on that. IPD adjustments are handled with a little knob on the top that spins a cog on the core module, and this is really cool. Right between the goggles at the bottom here is an expansion port that allows up to 2.5 gigabit MIPI cameras, or a single camera with a PCIe Gen 4x1 slot, allowing all kinds of possibilities for additional accessories. Like if you wanted color cameras, for instance, the built-in ones are only monochromatic. Or if you wanted, I don't know, a smell sensor, the sky's the limit. Since we're on the subject of the cameras, Valve says that they will work for inside-out tracking even in pitch darkness thanks to IR emitters that are built into the headset itself. And you can expect tracking performance on the order of about 200 to 250 updates per second, which is about on par with the Valve Index. Not something that I expected. Now that I've had a chance to gather my thoughts and eat some crappy airport food, let's talk about how Valve is delivering.
You get a sample of all of your friends, whatever, like of just their body smell, whatever, and then whenever you see them in the game, it releases a little bit of a fumes or whatever, right? It kind of boils the sample, and then you're gonna feel them up close. That is the future. This is the future.
A PC VR like.
And then, so we can send multiple body parts type of sample, and then they could lift their feet And you can smell the dogs.
experience wirelessly when big names like Apple and Meta have tried and never really succeeded. It starts with the least interesting looking part. This
No?
6
Nobody?
gigahertz Wi-Fi dongle.
Really?
Valve built the headset with 2 radios and 2 antennas for Wi-Fi, along with a third dedicated antenna for your controllers or your Bluetooth peripherals. One of those Wi-Fi antennas handles 5 gigahertz for your game downloads, your multiplayer data, your voice chat, etc. The other one connects to a very high-end home router, or more likely, Valve's dongle using the so far mostly unused 6 gigahertz band. This is a perfect use case
Chat,
for 6 gigahertz.
Chat, if we were like 5 years behind or 10 years, I wouldn't believe this could be good. But the reality, Chat, is that this motherfucker with fucking Logitech or whatever, that's insane. Like I didn't think that this could be instant, but it's absolutely ultra instant, despite even better.
Since it lacks the wall penetration that you might want for home Wi-Fi, but it excels
But it's also
at
a lot
avoiding
more information,
2.4
but I don't
and 5
know.
gigahertz channel congestion while pushing huge amounts of bandwidth. With that said, while the theoretical maximum is right up there with wired connections, in the real world it falls well short of that. So what's the secret?
Chat, hold on.
Foveated
Last pause.
stream-
Chat, guys, we're getting closer to the future that I predicted way back, chat, of the
Happy Bay Bud.
PC console. Hey, much man, where you put, chat, hey Camille, thanks for 109 months. This guy's an OG. Chat, where you can put just a module, Xbox, PS module, in your PC, and you could play the console games on your PC. Imagine if you have all of them like that. Imagine if Nintendo offered, like, if everybody came together as one big group and we had all the console slices like a cake, it'd be the Compu cake. No?
Seeing this in action blew my flipping mind. Basically, the idea behind it is similar to foveated rendering, where the headset tracks your eyes and tells your GPU, hey, only render the area of focus at full fidelity and save your resources on the rest of the scene. It's a technique that's been used to great effect on the handful of PSVR 2 titles that exist, but has been largely untapped on the PC side.
This is true, by the way.
Largely because it depends on game developers to implement it.
Fact check,
and also,
true.
most headsets don't have built-in eye tracking, so why would they bother? Foveated streaming then. Again, same idea. Focus your resources wherever the eyes are looking. Except in this case, it's not the GPU saving on rendering resources, it's the video encoding stream saving on
I'm telling you.
bitrate.
I know.
So you get crystal clear, high bitrate encoding, exactly where your eyes are looking, and then a little bit blurry everywhere else. At least in theory. In practice, it reacted so fast.
Yo, Nintendo comes up with the same console dog shit after fucking 10 years. No innovation, same thing. We reinvented the joystick poggers. Steam comes out of nowhere on a fucking Monday. And they're like, here's 3 complete new platforms and fucking hardware out of nowhere. Enjoy, bye. And then they go back into hiding.
That no matter how quickly I tried to move my eyes, I wasn't able to catch it. But I also don't feel too bad about that. Valve put on an incredible demo for me in Half-Life Alyx, where they highlighted the maximum fidelity window as I was looking around. And
Switch 2 is literally more powerful than a Steam Deck, clown. Yo, I can play on my fucking Steam Deck. I can play Hades, whatever, at max frames at 0 lag. I open my Switch, buddy, it starts to fucking take off and burn my hands when I have fucking 4 pixels and a fucking PNG background in the background of one singular color with a single leaf. Bro, all the fucking buildings are one fucking fat PNG and it's fucking melting in my hands, little bub. What the fuck you talking about, man? Fucking Nintendo employee in the chat.
even though they say it's only about 10% of the total video stream, it ends up being a pretty large window. Wild. As for the encoding latency, well, thanks to some clever parallelization of the encoding, you can expect anywhere from 1 to 2 milliseconds of extra latency on a modern GPU, and 4 to 5 for a slightly older but still VR-capable one. Not enough to notice or to contribute to significant motion sickness. And it keeps getting better. I managed.
Yeah, I think I have this. This is good though.
Did Valve, who, as of 2021, supposedly had less than 350 employees, managed to outmaneuver monsters like Meta, who spent $17.7 billion on Reality Labs just last fiscal year.
Dude, let's give it a buck. Meta was not a gaming company, and it went into this chat blinded. They probably overspent on like directors and fucking a bunch of title people that they just got milked. That is what it is. If you're someone who's not in that part of tech and you come in, you're gonna get milked on the first wave. It is what it is. You can't dodge it. You don't know who you're hiring. It's like esports when you're coming in. They don't know who to hire. It's always gonna be full milk. It is what it is. Steam had the massive advantage of being in gaming and in this part of tech for a longest time. So I mean,
I would ask Gaben how it happened, but I'm pretty sure he's busy on his yacht.
the
All I
question is
know
good too.
is that I want one, whether it's for wireless PC gaming, native gaming on the road with minimal bulk in my bag, or even just relaxing on the couch watching movies on the big screen. Like, what kind of sucker needs a big TV when this thing exists? So, with the Frame clearly taking the place of the Index in Valve's lineup, what happens to all the users of the Index and, maybe more importantly, the third-party ecosystem that exists around its base stations and Knuckles controllers? The short answer is the Index is EOL, but the long answer is Valve would love to see other players in the VR space approach them about...
Just something genuinely cool though that I know some of you guys might say, oh, it's boring, or you don't need that, but if you could play a game on your shit, right? And you were someone on Discord or whatever, right, or somebody, and you have like, you can see their gameplay above or whatever, right? I think it'd be kind of cool. Sometimes I'm playing a game with somebody, and I always want people to stream on Discord when I'm playing games with them, because I think it's cool to see them play at the same time. I like that.
Continuing to support or even continuing to manufacture these devices.
Part of the future.
Whether that'll happen, I don't know, but at least Valve is open to the conversation. Just like I'm open to telling you about our sponsor.
Grammarly. Writing things like a novel.
Grammar? Ooh.